Hey guys, welcome back to Texas Fab Garage. So on this episode, video, whatever you want to call it, we are actually going to start doing body work on the roof. There's a lot of imperfections. It's hard to see when it was one solid color. I went back through it and I sanded it with 80 grit. A long time ago I did put it in epoxy last year, and I did put a tooth on it then. I wish I didn't, because I did start getting a little bit of surface rust. So I had to go back through, did 80 grit, sand on it again, and then I go through and treat the rust areas. So now going back over it, just run my hand onto it. I can feel there's a low spot there, right here. One right here, little ones, it's all up and through there and all onto the other side also. And there was the corner that I don't think I showed it. This corner was completely smashed inward. I used my stud welder, popped it out as best I could. So there's a little bit of dip there, but that's okay. It won't be much to fix it. Best thing is get a towel, rub your hands over it this way, and you can really see where the, like, I feel dent right there. You can actually see this one's a little bit darker, but I went through there, and one right in here. So I do got a lot of areas that needs to clean onto it. So there's a few ways you can go about doing the body work onto it. I am going to probably do a skin coat over the whole roof. Most of it I am going to sand off. But first I'm going to go through and do where I feel the low spots. I'm going to put a little bit of filler in that area, sand it down. When I feel like that's flush, then I'll probably go through and do a skin over the whole roof and then sand it back down. So it's a few more steps. I mean, I want it to be, you know, it needs to be good as shredded as it possibly can. So to do that, I got a few different things I'm going to do. I'm going to use, this can's all smashed up, got it from Summer Racing. So hopefully it still work. We'll open it up. I do got another one though if that one is not good anymore, because it was leaking. It's been a while. So I'm going to start out with a little bit on the thicker side though when I put it onto the roof to fill the holes, and then I'll go back through, probably do some then with plastic honey to make it a lot more smoother outwise to it. So I do got some new sanding blocks I want to try out, so stay tuned to that. But first we're going to go through and skim it. What I've noticed a lot with this, it works a lot better when it has completely dry. There's some body fillers or Bondo, you want to call it, that you put on, you can get on it right away. This you can't, not, it gums up. So you do, it seems like it sands better the longer you let it dry. So we're going to head and just hit a few of these spots and wait for it to dry. All right, so I hit the major areas. There was a lot of ripples in through on this side, a nice dip back there, a little bit over there, and then on the other side, I think it's over there, and up there. I mean, there's still more, but this is just the first round. I will have multiple rounds of it going. So I was gonna do a little section at each time, sand it. I know I'm gonna sand most of this off in these areas, so I was like, might as well put it on, build it up, and I'll go over with it, and I'll just use regular my air sander, orbital sander with 80 grit to help just knock it down once it's dry. It's still a little too tacky. It's a lot colder than I thought it was going to be today. It's 42, maybe close to 44. So the filler was very thick and very hard. So I had to use the plastic honey on that to help just soften it up, make it a little easier to spread, or not, it probably wouldn't have spread. So, all right, we're going to give this maybe 20-25 minutes. See, I'll come back and check on it, see if this is dry. All right, I decided just to start sanding this part here, break it down. Did some 40 grit and then 80 grit, then 80 grit on a block, just to see how much off I am and kind of tell actually the way it's going. So where the dust is piling up, you can see like right here, that is a low spot. I am gonna put guide coat on it, but I don't need to put it on yet because I'm just trying to fill the low spots in. So right through here, you can definitely tell it's low there. I got a low spot here. You can kind of tell where the brace is in the car. It's a little higher point here, sand it off a lot easier. And I do got a little bit of a low spot in there. So I gotta do cleanup sand. This is just a rough, very rough etch. So I'm gonna go through, just keep sanding. Try to get a little bit lower, then I'll come back through. Then I'll put guide coat on, sand it again, see where how much lower I am and where to add some more filler. Then I'll try some new blocks out. Okay, so the whole top now has been sanded with 80 grit. I can see perfectly what issues and where it's a little bit lower, it's a little darker, you can see right there. That's another low spot. But I'm gonna go ahead and do the whole roof and some guide coat right now. And then I will, just leaked it everywhere. Then I'll go over it with 220, just a light to scratch it, just to see any more of the low spots, ones I might not see. Then I'll go back and I don't know, it might be right, see how bad it is. It might be right for a skin for the whole roof, or just keep hitting some individual spots. So let's go ahead and put some guide coat on. All right, so here's after the guide coat. I did use 180 grit. I thought maybe 220 was a little too light for doing over 80 scratches. So as you can see, nice big glow right here, here. Anywhere where it's darker, you actually see where there's gonna be, that probably just needs sand better. So what I'm gonna do now is go back over it, but I'm gonna use 80 grit and scratch out those areas and see how much lower I can get it. Then I'll have a better idea what's left. I'll go back and scratch it and probably just do another line of filler on top of it. All right, guys, we're back. It's another day. So for the roof part on that side, I have I've done it 3 coats over there, and I have it sanded down to 220. On this middle here, I'm starting. This is on my second round here, so I'm working from that way, working my way over in this direction. I only done one over here with the guide coat. You can see all the dark pitted areas, so I have to go back and scuff all those up. So I am going to put high build on the top of it. I do got to get it into 320 to do that, but I'm going to do that with an orbital, and I did have an interface pad, so I ordered one of those, so that'll be here maybe tonight, so I'll get to that later this week. So trying to get most of this done I can. I have been, oh man, these batteries are terrible. I know a lot of people complain about them. They don't have much light either. Have been using the, I'll go better when I start sanding again, but the Eastwood, so far pros and negatives to it. I do like dust. It does cut back a lot on dust. I'm going to say that it works great because my whole shop was getting extremely dusty. Cleaned it all up and I started sanding it again, and it started looking a lot better, and it's sucking a lot up. You do got to use the adjuster on it though. It depends on what block size you use, because the small block size actually sucks to the panel. It's hard to move. So there's that. The downside is the paper is not that great. I'm not that happy with the paper because it doesn't last long. Compared to my other paper, I believe this is Rhino Next, whatever. I got this from Eastwood too. I've been using this first. This stuff works a lot better. It doesn't clog up as much. Like this one I've used quite some time already. See if I can find it, and got some build up, but not much, but I've used this forever. And one time using this one, not that long, I got build up all around the sides. It builds up really quick. It doesn't, I mean, epoxy's not supposed to be a sandable primer, so it does clog up sandpaper, but it clogs up a lot more on that. I mean, I have not much primer left on this roof at all from sanding so much. But I mean, for a small shop garage that you don't want a lot of dust to, I will admit it does work. It doesn't work for every situation. The block, some part, I have paper on all the blocks. I'll have to show you the blocks again. They're not truly flat. So for a show car, I don't know. I mean, at least the ones I have, they're pitted. Oh, I'm gonna take. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can. I don't want to waste the paper because it's still good. This one's actually probably a better one, but I mean, it does have a little bow to it. It's twisted. If you can kind of tell, it's not straight. The block is twisted. So when you hold it, you got to press down hard and firm so it's not. And then like this lip, this ledge, that's one, like one through here, maybe that's why, like looking where it builds up more. It's not building up actually on the hard plastics. It's building up here more where the soft sponge is, the foam is. So it might be from that. I mean, I haven't used them a whole lot just for this side, so I will do more of a demo. I'm just trying to get this done as quickly as possible because it's like 70 degrees out. I wish I could have gotten it done and been able to put the high build on today. But so I'm waiting for that middle to dry, then I will get back on that sanding. Just, this all this is. Sanding, guide coat, sanding, guide coat, and hopefully I'll be done by then. Whew. All right, so now I'm finally on this side of the car. Got the middle done, and I went back, I actually watched some of my old footage just to keep track how far I was, because I couldn't remember when you go from day to day. So actually I've done, yes, 3 layers over there, 3 coats on this side, and this is my second coat on this side here that I did, because this was dead, this was really sunk in. And then with the guide coat, you can see here. So you can still see it fill an edge around here, so this needs more sanding. So I'm gonna go through, hit this again, sand it, see if I can get more of the dark areas down, and I will use the Eastwood with 120 grit just to see if that works wise to it. So pretty much after I hit that, I might go up to 180, or I just went and hit my orbital on with 220 very lightly, not putting no pressure because I don't have an interface pad onto it because I don't want to get warp wise to it. But I'm actually quite happy the way this is actually turning out. So I did forget to mention though that I didn't find any footage of it. I did go back through with the areas that was really sunk in. I went in with my hammer underneath it and I piled. That's why it probably looks more like weird line-ish there. That's indents where the hammer may not hit or struck properly with it. But we're going to go ahead and give this another sand with 120. So let's go ahead and do that. Hey buddy, what are you doing?
I don't know.
Yeah, can you say hi to the camera?
Hi to the camera.
Hi to the camera. Yeah, I'm messing with all my stuff. All my big mess. Yeah, careful, that poke you. Okay, so to watch the time lapse, maybe you saw it or not. I did find actually another dent back there. I took the hammer to it, just piled out a little bit, sanded it down, went through and scuffed everything with 80 grit. Where it is, you can see the primer actually underneath that. I put a very thin coat on to cover this up. So this will be, yes, it's third coat on top of it. So I'm gonna let that flash dry. And then I might just hit the top part. If there's any still high peaks, I'll try back through and like scrape these little high peaks off with a razor blade knife once it dries more. But if you notice, I used a lot more plastic honey in the mix to make it a lot more liquidy. So it just glaze on, and you won't do as much sanding. It won't take as much to cover it. So I used a plastic spreader first, just got it on there. Then went back with a metal spreader and spread it extremely thin. I like using the metal one because it gets it nice down and tight. You do got to worry about a few things. You get a lot of buildup. I'm out of acetone, so it's hard to clean it. So I'm just using wax and greaser trying to clean it up. But I got Bondo on me.
What's this?
That's a wire brush for cleaning stuff. So, all right, so we're gonna give this a little bit of time to dry up. Then we'll come back, just do a quick little light sand, maybe 80 grit to knock tops down. It'll be very lightly, and then we'll go on to using some guide coat. So just give me a few minutes. Okay, that was not fun. So if you notice from the time, oh, this battery's about to die. Notice about the time lapse, the hose for it kept falling off and the paper got clogged really quick. It was not fun. Wasted a lot. I feel like he wasted a lot of paper, and it after a while it just wasn't sucking as good. I probably need to clean the shop back out now, and it's gonna be, I mean, it did get a lot. I mean, wife's still not happy because, well, still got dust everywhere in the garage, so find the leaf blower. But after everywhere you can kind of see was low, I went back with a hammer, I felt some more high areas, and through here was really high, so I just tapped that down with it. I'm debating, like, I went through with the towel. If you put just a towel, paper towel down, and rub your hand over it, I could feel more like low spots than I could just with my hand onto it. I know you're not supposed to be tight. I mean, I used to wear a glove. You should be pressing things down. But I went through with the pencil on the other side, like right there, that felt low. Low there, low back there, low over there still, and a little low. I can feel with that. So I don't know if I need to go and try to, I don't know if I should, I mean, I do have some glazing putty. I don't know if I need that yet. I should just put call this good once I get inner pad. I mean, I did take the orbital sander to did 150, and to just help knock it down quicker. So yeah, I mean it's a lot better than it was. I mean, it's really thin, so I'm not worried about how much Bondo or filler I've used on it, per se. I mean, this was all rusted pit holes in through here. This was eaten out really bad here and back there. Those three are probably the worst spots I had in the whole car for the roof. A lot of damage. So yeah, I think that I just need to take it to 320, and then I'll determine once that is just put the high build onto it, and then if I need to, I can always go back and put glazing putty on top of that, then to 2K. But that 2K not happening for a while. So I don't know if I mentioned, that's why I started with the roof, because with all of the filler and stuff put onto it, it drips downward. I don't want to fall into somewhere that are finished and already sand. I have to go back and touch up. So I thought this would be a good spot to start with. So I think for now that's good for up here. I'm gonna wait till I get the other sandpaper and the interface pad, sand the rest out, see if that helps out with it, and then I'll go back and decide. Now I'm just gonna do the side parts, and I don't think you guys can see that. It's not as much fun to it. So until next clip. All right, here we are. It's been probably close to 2 weeks. The weather's been cold, snowing, back and forth. Easter's coming up this weekend, so this is the nicest day I'm going to have for the next, I think, 2 weeks, they said. So I actually hit a little over 60 today. So after work, I came home real quick, gave the thing just a rough sand. Again, I went too far. Last time I went to 320. I didn't actually have to do that if I'm doing high build. I wasn't paying that close attention. I read it wrong. Only I get to do like 180 really. Ooh, clear 180. So I went back, just put 220 on the DA though. Roughed it up because I started getting little dots. You can see little surface roughs. I'm like, ah. So I just went ahead, got enough epoxy primer on just to cover up the work I did and try to see it is. You can see where it's absorbing, where the filler was actually absorbs a lot more. So I got 2 coats on. I used the cheap Harbor Freight gun. I rushed, just try to get it looking good. So there's like dots. Try saying something onto it. Like it's probably gonna be a little bumpy once it dries. I don't know. We'll wait and see. We're gonna get a few days of dry. I'm gonna have to sand it again before I put the high build onto it. I don't need epoxy for that. I was gonna do it because I sanded so much down onto it. But you can kind of see, like right there, I didn't sand good enough. So I mean, I just want to get it covered though. And you see like little dots, little, I don't know if you can on here, right in through there, some pinholes. That's where the metal's really rusted. And where fillers, there's a few spots, but I mean, trying to see where it's low or not, I can't really tell. So I don't know, I'm happy with it. So this will be just a nice short video. I mean, I seriously threw everything on a box, wiped everything off, tried to make it clean, tried to make it look as good as I could to get done. So I haven't really worked on anything else since then though. So that is done. So I'm going to move on to the rest of the body, probably the engine bay or the back. I want to start on sanding and doing work on too. I have haven't really shown it though. I do gotta do the finish the door jamb. See, I'm already getting surface rust in through here building up. Was working on this. I'm not happy with this. I don't like it. I wish I found a new panel or look for a car and build it, because this is really bad and it's not going to look good. I mean, the only thing I can do is do fender flares, but I don't want to do fender flares right now, or if I don't know if I ever want to. I like the look of the standard 510, but there are some nice ones out there that you don't have to cut into the door that I've seen. I can't remember the guy's name. I follow him on Instagram. He has a K24 he's put into it. It's really nice, the flares he put onto it. So maybe I'll have to ask him for pointers. But I mean, if I don't like down the line, I could always go back, cut that section out and blend it. But for now, that's just going to take more work. I don't want to do any more welding. So I mean, I'll make it look as best as I could, decent wise. So yeah, so finished the body work around there. I don't know if I said before, I did take my stud. I think I did. See, I might have to go back a little bit, pulled this out. So I need to sand this. There's some holes here for the trim piece that bolts to, so I don't have to worry about that. So the really big thing is going to be the back end of the car and finishing the engine bay up. So hey, if you guys want to see that, because I mean, the engine bay is pretty good. I mean, there's some of the cameras flopping around. I already went through and scuffed up a little bit, try to see where the lows are. You can kind of tell. And I do got to finish the hood. Oh, so much, but not enough time. So, and you know what, guys? I'm rambling right now. My heart's racing because I've been rushing trying to get this done before. I think it's gonna start raining later tonight, so I gotta get this back in the garage to cover it up. So, hey, I'll just go back to the old videos. If I forgot anything, I'll come back and add it in. But in the meantime, guys, give me a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.